Do you see my screen? Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we see.
Hello, dear participants. Welcome to Breakout Room number 3 of Invest Horizon Digital eForum. My name is Tina, and I'm happy to be your facilitator today. Please be aware that we are recording this session, and if anybody doesn't want to be recorded, please just indicate in the chat, and I will pause the recording while you speak. Before we start, I would like to remind you about the format of this session. Each company has 5 minutes for presentation, 4 minutes for Q&A, and 1 minute for our experts to evaluate the company in our online evaluation form that I will share in the chat. Now I would like to invite our experts that are in the room to quickly introduce themselves. We should start with Nicholas from The Factory.
Good morning, everybody. So my name is Nicolas Bier. I'm a partner at The Factory Fund. So we are a seed investment fund focusing on digital tech B2B companies, and we invest in Benelux and France mainly. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Kevin from Enterprise Ireland.
Hi, Kevin Donnelly here from Enterprise Ireland. Good morning, everybody. I work in an organization that supports startups and technology-driven companies based in Ireland. So if any of you guys are thinking of moving over, please give me a shout. I'm looking forward to be entertained and educated this morning. So looking forward to it. All the best. Good luck to everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kevin. Now Paul from Gilmore Stevens.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a partner at Gilmore Stevens. We're an executive search company, and we focus on startups and scale-ups, everything from university, research institution, spin-outs, build-outs, and we focus on building board and the exec teams. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Oliver.
Hi, my name is Oliver. I'm part of the investment team of UVC Partners. We are a German VC fund investing in early-stage tech startups.
Thank you. Now, Mark. Okay, he's not here. Victor.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Victor from B2B Partners. I'm part of the industrial tech investment team. We are early stage fund based in Munich, Germany, 100 million fund focusing on deep tech technologies and with sweet spot on Series A and seed rounds.
Thank you, Victor. And now, Antonio.
Hello, my name is Antonio Teixeira. I'm from Peak Advanced. We are actively looking for partners in the area of robotics and photonics.
Thank you, Antonio. And now, Cyril from IMEC Expand.
Hi, I'm Cyril from IMEC Expand. IMEC Expand is an early stage fund with a particular investment focus in the semiconductor and technology space, where we invest in areas where a well-known R&D institute called IMEC in that space can add value and help the companies to de-risk their technology. We have in our first fund 120 million. We invest both in Europe as well as in the US and are currently continuing to expand our portfolio.
Great. Thank you very much, dear experts, for your introductions. We're really happy to have you today with us. Now I give the floor to the first presenting company of the day, and I would like to invite Daniel to share his screen.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you're ready,
okay.
We see your screen. Would you like to make it on? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Whenever you're ready, I will start the timer. Good luck.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So I'm Daniel Cascante. I'm the head of product of Sensing and Control. Sensing and Control is a technology-based SME that offers off-the-shelf or IoT customized solutions. Since its foundation in 2006, we have been mainly dedicated to R&D projects until 2018, when we launched our own smart home and building solution. Now in 2021, we have created the Smart Industry Business Unit and have launched our own asset monitoring and tracking platform. It is an open solution for monitoring remotely located equipment and devices. And it is in this business area where we see the biggest potential, and we're looking for investors to scale up and grow quickly. The problem related for assets for any sector is to know where are the assets and how are being used. It is to help preventing loss and theft. Just an example, there are around 20-25% of pallets lost in the logistics sector. And enhance operational efficiency. It is ensuring equipment availability or scheduling maintenance reminders based on real use. Despite it is not used, majority of the assets are not tracked yet. The 52% is between companies that are already monitoring assets, so the potential is higher. If we are talking from logistic assets such as container or pallets, or value assets are stretchers in a hospital or machinery and equipment in remote work sites. Or even fixed in a site like pumps, not only to know the location, also to know the real hours to improve the maintenance. One of the biggest obstacles is the cost. Even if the benefits are clear, we're talking to save up to 25% in asset loss. Sometimes the solution costs more than those benefits. But also the difficulty to implement massive projects with the existing products, because they can be easily adapted and their own technical resources that customers needs to manage it. So the solution we propose is iLocate. It's an open, modular, and full stack asset monitoring solution. We offer the hardware most suite for each application, global connectivity with adapt data plans, and the modular software platform. Being able to choose from different options and adapt each layer of the solution, we can offer to each customer or sector only what they need, keeping prices low. Asset tracking market expected to reach almost 30 billion euros in 2025 and we aim to reach annual revenues of more than 20 million. It's a conservative calculation considering the high potential. Asset tracking monitoring solution can be applied in multiple sectors. And even if our vision is being able to offer a solution for each one, we prioritize in short and medium term logistics and distribution and industrial manufacturing. We have developed and tested the product, iterating with direct customers and partners to validate our value proposition. It is an end-to-end solution, devices, connectivity, application, and customization. It is an open platform. This is the capability to integrate multiple hardware brands gives us an important advantage. It is flexible, modular, and customizable, and scalable. The business is scalable for multiple sectors, from health, cities, agriculture, lots. We plan to develop it in different features and models according to hardware and market requests. Now we are currently offering solutions based on location and traceability and utilization and maintenance. Currently working on cold chain management, and the next step then for the next year will be an innovative solution for precise indoor tracking with a tag device that doesn't need batteries. It's auto-powered with energy harvesting. We have made some strategic partners as Deutsche Telekom and Digital Matter, for example, and thanks to our modularity and flexibility, we have already gained some traction. We have been finalists and won some technical challenges in the industrial and logistics sectors, and we have met some important business partners that give us quick access to the market. ACO, for example, to the cold management in food and beverage, Centum for precise indoor tracking. Thanks to the collaboration with Deutsche Telekom and Centum, some important companies are already interested in the incoming innovative solution as Pfizer or ID Logistics. Another like M2M, for example, M2M Factory in the market to banking and insurance. Our business plan considers to reach the break-even in the third year and around 22 million of revenues and almost 5 million of cumulative EBITDA in 2025. Calculations have been made considering the traction reached only in around 6 months. Location and utilization projects in a short term, cold chain management project is a good opportunity for the next year, and the innovative solution for indoor tracking is the biggest customers, but different scale project will require more resources too. So this is to make it possible, we are looking for 3 million for corporate investor or venture capital to grow quickly, take advantage of the current opportunity and build strong technical and marketing barriers. Funding will be used to cover part of the main cost of employees, marketing, operations, and finance to hardware procurement. Sensing and Control has an experienced team in IoT business of 14 people and has developed good relationship with different kind of partners. It is led by senior management team coming from private sector companies like Siemens and Epson in Germany or Comcast in US, and with a strong R&D background in the IoT and artificial intelligence areas, thanks to its participation in more than 15 European research projects. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for your presentation. Now we have time for questions. So whoever is ready, dear experts, you may begin.
Maybe I'll begin. Daniel, really excellent presentation. Very, very clear, very smooth.
Thank you.
Question about, I suppose, the commercialization side of it. When do you see first light? When will your first customers be?
We already have the first customers. Okay. The problem is all this project has a period of between 6 or 8 months. Okay, and now we start always with a POC, the test, POC, pilot. Okay, and then we have now 4 or 5 important customers that are in the POC, between POC and pilot. I mean, POC could be maybe 5 or 6 devices. A pilot could be 200 and 300, and then scale up to the 1,000 devices.
I think a slide or two, maybe I missed it. I think a slide or two on that would be very interesting, because if you think about it, you're raising money to solve a problem. People are giving you money to solve a problem. Where do we put our money? So the total addressable market, kind of interesting, and the growth and all that is, but really an addressable market is a sum of quanta, and we like to see, or sort of, I certainly like to see, this is going to be my first customer, is going to look like this. It's going to take this long. We're this far. And how many of customers look like that? So if we can get this logistics company, there's 500 logistics company in Spain. There's 5,000 in Europe. There's 50,000 in the world. But we're starting with, this is what they look like. And this is the service that we offer them. It's not that it's wrong. I just think it's an emphasis. I think maybe one slide on how money will be accumulated or as you go past. Thank you. But listen.
Okay. No, it's okay.
Expert in logistics. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Daniel, there wasn't a slide on competitors. This is a really, really busy space. And I've seen several companies, particularly focusing on cold chain, supply chain. So I don't know whether I missed it or whether it's an appendix.
No, I'm sorry. There is not a slide from competitors because of you mentioned. There is we are trying to offer a service, not just a product, okay, for different sectors. So the slide from competitors, which takes more than 5 minutes, only one slide to try to explain. So I will try to focus on our USP. It means our value proposition for each one. It means there are others, of course, okay, but all of them are complex or at a higher price. Okay, so we are trying to keep it simple, okay, keep it in low cost, and being open to, because you need a different manage different brands even together in the same platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so just a very quick bolt on. You talk about strategic partners. What does that actually mean?
For example, we are a strategic partner with Deutsche Telekom. Okay, Deutsche Telekom provides us the communication, for example. Okay, and they are promoting our platform to their customers. Okay, we go together to specific customers, the bigger ones. For example, for us now as a small company, it's impossible to reach Pfizer. Okay, but Deutsche Telekom has this capability. Okay, so they are offering our solution with their connectivity, okay, to these specific customers.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And do we have any more questions?
Yes, Cyril here from IMEC Expand. In such a case where you work with Deutsche Telekom, how does that work? I mean, do they own the customer? Do you own the customer? They do. Do you pay them licensing fee? Who pays what? And how does that work? And are you the only partner of Deutsche Telekom for such a solution?
No, Deutsche Telekom has lots of IoT partners. Okay, they work with different IoT partners, so they know the capabilities of each one. Okay, so the way to work is depend on the customer. Okay, for them there are strategic customers that they prefer to go directly, so they buy for us the solution and they resell the solution as to the customer. For example, as Pfizer or ID Logistics, because are strategic for them. But others that maybe for them they are not as strategic or requires more technical part from us or customization, they prefer that we manage directly the customer and they provide the communications. Okay, so we work now in these both different types of opportunities. Strategic for them, so they manage directly, or they prefer that we manage directly.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for answering the questions. Now it's time to proceed with the next company, which is Globot. I would like to invite Damiano to prepare his slides and share his screen. In the meantime, dear experts, sorry about the inconvenience with the evaluation forum. We have some technical difficulties, but I will write you the new link very shortly in the chat, and then you can evaluate sensing and control, and after that, Globot. Okay, Damiano, if you feel ready, we may begin your presentation.
Okay, do you see my slides?
Yes, we see it perfectly.
Okay.
If you want, you can check if it's moving. If you can change
Is
your...
it moving?
Yes, it's perfect. Okay,
great.
You're
So,
ready?
yeah, good morning. My name is Damiano, and I would like to introduce you to Globot. So, apparel production industry need to reduce manufacturing costs. So they try to solve this problem by offshoring production in the third world countries where labor cost is very, very cheap. And this happens because apparel production industry needs so much workers. For example, if you would like to produce 10,000 t-shirts in one day, you need at least 400 workers. The T-Bot, our robot, instead can produce 10,000 t-shirts in one day without any support of humans. So all the factories, all the fashion brands and entrepreneurs that are going to automate their factories, they are going to switch from hand production to automation. They will save 40% on production cost because they are going to save 90% on workers' cost. And now I'm going to show you our technology. This robot is going to produce a t-shirt by itself without any support of humans. So do you see the video moving? So
Yes.
the robot picks the front of the t-shirt and then assemble the front of the t-shirt to the neck. And then the robot pick the sleeve and connect the sleeve to the body of the t-shirt. And then the robot pick the other sleeve and connect the sleeve to the body of the t-shirt. Then the tries open and the t-shirt is made. And this is the first time in the history that a garment was made by a robot without any support of humans. So we have shown our technology to a few customers, and we have received 6.4 million euros of LOIs. And we have a special cooperation with United Colors of Benetton that is going to introduce our pilot in his factory in Italy because they would like to produce made in Italy t-shirts at the same price of made in Bangladesh t-shirt or made in China t-shirt. So the value of this market is pretty big. The whole garment industry in the world is about 500 billions. Our specific market, the world value on annual basis is 15 billion. This is our founding history. In 2018, I have put myself 50K from my pocket for patenting and for doing R&D. In 2019, we have fundraised 60K from family and friends for building a prototype. And in 2021, we have raised around 1 million from Invitalia Smart and Start to industrialize the T-Bot. And this is a loan, a special loan from the Italian state. We are now fundraising 500K. We are giving away the 14% of Globot. We have one venture committed with XS Capital Partner for 400K. And what we're gonna do with this money, we are going the 30% of this money we are going to invest in R&D, 10% in marketing, and of course, 60% of the money we are going to use for assembling the pilot T-bot that we have to deliver to Benetton as well Decathlon. We have a very strong industrial partnership. ABB is giving robots for free. United Colors of Benetton already told they will receive the pilot T-bot in an industrial environment, and Henkel is cooperating with us for glue dispensing and glues. This is my team. I am the CEO, I'm the founder. I have 25 experience in the apparel production industry. Stefano Iorino is my co-founder and the CTO of the company. He's specialized in industrial automation. Alfredo Marinucci is the mechanical engineer, and Paolo De Lucia is the developer of the software. Thank you.
Great, thank you, and for your presentation and for being on time. Now I give the floor to our experts for questions and feedback.
If I may.
Yes.
Nicola from the factory, thank you for the presentation. Just to know more about your experience within the industry, or yours or the one from the team, and relating to the quality of the products linked to that. Do the people who sign the LOI validate the quality? I understand that the t-shirt is glued. So is it something which is standard, new, accepted, or can you say a bit more about that?
So the quality of the t-shirt that come out from the prototype is really bad because you know, it's just a prototype. But I see you realize that it's glued. This is the innovation actually. We are connecting the fabrics with glue instead of yarn, and these enable a huge amount of technology that we can take from the market, already tested technology, because there is no difference actually to connect fabric with glue instead of yarn. And the customers have seen the product and they like it. They like it even though the t-shirt is not really well done. Actually, we couldn't sell this t-shirt now in the market because it's not very precise, you know. But we were pretty much interested to test if the glue can have the same reaction of yarn, and actually this is what we made. And customers are fine with that. Even Decathlon, as well Benetton, which are the most famous in our portfolio at the moment.
And sorry, for the first part of the question, do you come from the industry, or does the team has some experience in the industry?
Okay, I come from the apparel production industry. I have been a t-shirt producer for 25 years. I mean, producer manually, like my factory was in Bangladesh actually, and in China. And my co-founder is an engineer of the automation, of the industrial automation. Plus the whole team and our system integrator is a factory that you know, build robots since 50 years. So the team is well built. One side is for the apparel production industry. The other side is for robotics.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, do we have any more questions?
Yeah, maybe one more from my side. This is Oliver from UVC Partners. Can you elaborate a little bit on the commercial terms for your pilot? I was a little bit puzzled that most of the money you want to raise right now is actually going for the production of the pilot. Is there any commercial parts to it where your customers are co-developing it, maybe covering parts of the cost?
Well, actually, our customers, I asked them to pay, you know, some money in advance to finance the building of the T-bot, but all these companies don't have really a corporate venture inside. so they don't do this kind of things like financing startups, because that was the first thing I tried to do, to get money from the customer, you know, to build the first pilot. But they just want to buy, you know, a tested machine that is working, because they say they buy machines, they don't finance innovation. That was the answer. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Okay, thank you, Damiano, for your time and for your presentation. If anybody has any more questions, please keep in mind that you can still pre-book on one-to-one meetings in our tech tour platform. I will share more details about that in video instruction at the end of the session. Now, dear experts, you can find a new evaluation link in the chat. This should work, but if anybody has technical problems with it, please say so. We give you some time to evaluate the first two companies, and in the meantime, I would like to invite our next company of the day, which is Xylene, and Christopher Edwards to prepare his slides. Damiano, if you can stop sharing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Chris. Okay, we see your screen. We see the particularly in presenting mode. We'll begin in half a minute just to give some time to our experts. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if you feel ready, we may begin your presentation, please.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Edwards, and I'm one of the founders and managing directors of Xylene. At Xylene, we believe that sustainable supply chains are achievable today. But the most important aspect of this is building transparency, and Xylene is here to enable this for companies in a verified way. We are a startup located around Stuttgart in Germany, and we will be raising our seed investment round in Q2 2022. The big issue that companies are facing in their supply chains are revolving around supply chain resilience, sustainability issues, and geopolitical and political issues coming from legislators with new regulation. What we are building and what we've built up until today is Xylene's digital toolkit that is built on 3 distinct areas that helps companies build transparency along their value chain. And this is connected to a smart data gathering solution and approach combined with efficient management of this information. We have fully developed our supply chain visualization tool that allows companies to map out their entire value chain and see beyond their tier 1 suppliers and assess these suppliers and see what potential risks they have in the supply chain. This is our tool for the early adopters in this market that want to build transparency along their value chain. But the big innovation lies in supply chain and product flow traceability. With our solution, we offer these supply chains a possibility for the suppliers to log all the necessary product flow information in their processing steps. And we use satellite data and blockchain to validate each of these transactions and build trust in the entire solution. This especially builds on key features such as carbon footprint traceability, the proof of origin of the raw materials, but also complying with regulation and meeting ESG targets. With all of this information in place, our customers can also make this data work for them. By connecting this information to the product and engaging with customers, they can give the customer insights into the production and the origin of products, but also connect this information for auditors and regulators in order to prove where the products have been produced and where they came from. Enabling this transparency to work for them and also using it for a circular approach when it comes to, for instance, battery production. We've built our solution on technology that helps us to build trust and authenticity in our system. We use digital twins to record and gather all the information in the processing steps, and satellite navigation and Earth observation to validate the information that suppliers are taking in and storing it on the blockchain to be sure that it's not changed and interfered with along the value chain until it reaches our customers. Our market is a massively growing market. Initially, we are focusing on the German-speaking market that has an import volume of 500 million euros worth of goods each year. Globally, the global track and trace market is going to grow to $9.7 billion by 2028. And this means a 19% compound annual growth rate from this year on. Our go-to-market strategy focuses on our Silene mapping and visualization tool as an early adopter program. Here we already have 7 signups that will be using our system from December on. And we already have 2 paying customers that are using our entire solution with the traceability approach in a piloting project. The upselling factor of Silene is the traceability for the future. The competitive landscape is very fragmented. Different solutions cover different depths. Silene really brings together the target of mapping, traceability, and customer engagement in a scalable and easy to implement approach with authentic data. Our value proposition is focused on sustainability in companies to report and comply for their ESG purposes, procurement for seamless processes and due diligence and proof of origin, but as well carbon footprint, and finally building customer loyalty and marketing through the communication of this. We are looking for 1 million euros in our seed investment round, and our target for the financial plan is to reach break even by 2023 and an overall over 6 million euros by 2026 in turnover. Our team is comprised of 2 industry experienced individuals. I myself have a supply chain background. Giuseppe is a mechanical engineer, and us 2 bring together the knowledge and expertise to bring this forward. We are supported by the European Space Agency, and here we can see 2 case studies for you to scan and see where we're working on and how Silene can be introduced in a supply chain. And now I look forward to your questions. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Chris, for your presentation. Yes, dear experts, if you're ready, you may begin with your questions.
I'll go first. Thank you for that. Really interesting. How do you build up the database in terms of raw materials on a client by client and product by product basis, or are you building a library of information that your customers will then draw down from to know the provenance of their raw materials? Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. What we enable is that our customers and their extended supply chains can use Silene as a tool to log and connect with their suppliers and have these suppliers log their product flows in each of the manufacturing steps. So for this, we've developed our mobile app that covers 5 simple steps for the suppliers to log and ship and gather necessary information in their processing steps around the product itself, documentation, images. So the suppliers themselves actually gather this information, and what happens in the background is the verification through satellite data and the storage on the blockchain. So we do not have, let's say, a database where our customers can just feed information from, but it's actually connecting their entire supply chain and giving it a tool to trace physically the product in a trustworthy way. I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you, Chris.
Hi, Chris. This is Cyril speaking.
Hi, Cyril.
Can you quickly talk about what the sales process is in your case? Kind of if you want to sell to whatever Bosch, Daimler, or I don't know, to a coffee supplier like Tigo, kind of, you know, what is their incentive and why and how long does it take, etc.
Yeah, thanks. Very good question. What we can see is a lot of dynamics have been stirred up by regulation that has been put forward in various European countries. And this has really pushed a lot of original equipment manufacturers to consider this more closely, but also for them to ask more from their supply chain. So our initial approach is to use our supply chain mapping to reach the, let's say, SMEs around automotive, textile production, food production, pharmaceuticals, and onboard these through supply chain mapping as a very easy first approach, but that allows them to connect with their suppliers and build compliance. While at the second level, once OEMs, let's say, have seen that their suppliers and the market has built an understanding and a visualization of the supply chain, then we can integrate the traceability of raw materials at the critical materials level. So for instance, for minerals going into batteries, pharmaceuticals in specific. So it's a journey that starts for us with our supply chain mapping approach and will be upsold then to traceability. And for this, we're really targeting in the first step, let's say the entire market, but we can see that the early adopters are really in the SME space to map out and visualize their supply chain. And then we build on that.
Great. And do we have any more questions? Okay, then thank you, Chris, for your presentation and for your time.
Thank you.
Now I would like to invite our next company, which is Spot Vessels, and Miglena to share her presentation. Dear expert, I would like to remind you to evaluate Xylene in our online evaluation form. Okay, Miglena, we see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Miglena Molchova. I'm co-founder and CEO of Spot Vessels, and it will be my pleasure today to present to you my company. Rivers are the arteries of Earth's continents and the main transport corridors for both heavy and oversized cargoes. More than 15,000 European inland ships daily move heavy cargoes from the industry. Yet the inland waterway transport still remains unknown for most Europeans. Most inland waterway transport deals are still closed over the telephone or via email. The problems that we address on these markets are that they are closed, limited to insiders, restricting the total cargo volumes and blocking the optimization of ships' free capacities, the time-consuming deal closure, the scattered data, and untransparent pricing. What we offer, our product, is a B2B platform based on intelligent infrastructure that enables our customers to automatically contract inland waterway transport deals while optimizing ships' free capacities. We offer faster transactions at lower cost, cost efficiency based on transparent pricing, easy to use smart data, leading to open and efficient market with uncomplicated procedures for everybody. We can save annually between 300,000 and more than 5 million euro for the middle-sized industrial company. And this can be realized in less than a month for the customer. This is due to the lower transaction fee of Spot Vessels and no additional margin due to the direct contracting. Our core optimization model is patent protected. It works with various variable transport parameters using wide range of real-time input data. Here you can meet our dedicated core team, bringing in 80+ years of relevant experience in logistics, finance, marketing, economics, and IP. Our market size consists of more than 50 countries in the world with navigable waterways, more than 50,000 shipping companies delivering 6.5 billion tons of cargo per year, and the serviceable available market estimated at 1% transaction cost is $2 billion. We had successful Rhine-Main-Donau Canal product launch in Q3 this year, and within 3 months, we attracted 6 major European producers from 5 different industries, like metal products, fertilizers, petroleum products, heavy and oversized cargo. We have HubSpot pipeline with 1,000 leads with a market value of 100 million euro. Our business model is based on transaction fee, 1% transaction fee per customer, and an annual fee depending on the selected subscription plan on the platform. On the sales funnel, you can see that we have very good success rate in onboarding customers. Out of the 6 product presentation made, we have 6 onboarded industrial clients to the platform, bringing near 800 tons to the platform. The competitor analysis, here you can clearly see that Spot Vessels is the only platform that allows fully automated contracting of inland waterway transport deals, trading platform offering variety of tools that none of our customers can offer. Our financial plan envisages to reach revenue of 6 million in 2025 with positive EBITDA of 1.5 by that year. And our investment focus is for 1.5 million for the next 36 months. For product integration and adaptation, for when our customers require additional features and tools, integrations mostly with their already existing logistic systems, to continue working on our optimization model, and the biggest part of the money we need to go to the market and target our niche market with sales campaign and online marketing. Thank you for your attention, and this is Spot Vessels overview. I am here to answer your questions if you have any. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miglena, for your presentation. Now we give the floor to our experts. Whoever is ready may begin.
Maybe I'll kick off. Miglena, another excellent presentation, although there was a lot of information in it. I'm not 100% sure. Who are your customers? Is it people with cargo or people with boats?
Both. I usually have this question, both, and we actually serve both the demand and supply side.
Yeah, I just like to see a little bit more about that. I mean, I think it's I think they're you know, the motivations for those two, saving money, I guess, is one, but it's about what motivates your buyer. I mean, it's compelling, but I guess back to Paul's earlier question, you know, there's a lot of competition in this market as well. So, you know, what are you offering to the boat owner? What are you offering to the cargo company? And I think that might round it off pretty well. But listen, very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any more questions or feedback?
Yeah, so this is Cyril speaking. Just a quick question, Miglena. Can you talk a little bit about the team that's behind that? I mean, why are you guys set up to win this? I mean, it's not a market that comes to mind in the first place.
Yes.
About it.
The theme actually comes from the industry, and our founder Zlata Zara is actually a former barge owner, family business, and she knows the market very well. She knows the problems very well. Also, Stoyan, who is our CFO, has a logistic company of his own, and we know very well the specifics of this market. We are aware that this is a niche market that usually doesn't come in mind, but the market, even if it's a niche market, is quite promising, and what we offer is something that is on the edge of demand currently. We participate in many professional events, and all participating sites, both ship and barge owners, and also cargo suppliers, big industrial companies are craving for digitalization and the tools that we can offer. The thing is that the platform is quite complicated, and since we are serving both sides, it's let's say a matter of leverage, because they both are afraid that the prices will go lower, that the prices will get higher. So we are aware of these problems, and the companies that we onboarded currently are quite big. We have worked with them before. I mean, Zlatozara also as a ship owner. And as I said, we have a very good success rate, because when they see what the platform offers, they agreed directly to get on board. So they recognized the value that we can offer.
Great. Do we have any more questions, dear experts?
Maybe
Okay.
very quickly, maybe I missed it, I'm sorry, but so why do you have your first revenues only in 2023?
Because so far, the business that we address, the market that we address is a B2B market with big industrial companies. So we wanted to have fully operational product. And so far, the platform is fully operational. And we started only now to the go-to-market strategy, because we needed to have some test period with test clients to see that everything is working. And currently we are contacting cargo owners, industrial companies, to acquire 2 million tons of cargo to the platform, to be onboarded on the platform, because we believe that this is a successful strategy. When we have the cargoes, it will be more easy for us to get the ship owners after that. So the most of the time so far was spent for developing the platform.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? Okay, thank you, Miglena. Then
thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, dear experts, I would like to kindly remind you to evaluate spot vessels in our forum. And I would like to invite our next presenting company, which is Advanced 3D Nanosystems. And Maxime, you can share your screen.
Hello, thank you, Tina. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see it. We will begin very shortly, just to give some time to our experts to evaluate the companies. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, if you feel ready, you may begin your presentation.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good day to everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to present. Maxim Plakhotnyuk, CEO and founder of Advanced 3D Nanosystems. We develop unique technology for on-demand microelectronic manufacturing, atom by atom. The challenge that exists today, and it was exposed with the COVID situation, that the supply chain for semiconductor microelectronic industry was broken due to outsource manufacturing of this highly important elements of our modern society, mostly in Asia. And now US and European Union is placing a big effort to insource back the critical technologies. So probably everyone saw this picture when President Biden was holding a silicon wafer with micro devices, highlighting the importance of this problem that basically hinders the whole economy of major countries. The problem that actually exists, and it's also the reason for logistic supply chain broken, is that the infrastructure for micro nano electronics development is very expensive. It's inflexible, time-consuming, very complex, and of course outsourced. So how to change this? Another approach to tackle this is to use additive manufacturing technology like the one we are developing. And our technology is based on semiconductor best practices. So it's atomic layer deposition-based technology. And we developed the platform technology, we call it nanofabricator, that allows to deposit materials selectively, so basically creating patterns with atomic precision. Our technology basically reduce and the cost removes most of the and bring much lower risk. We can tackle a number of processes in the same platform. So this basically our printhead photo and allow to do in-source of the major R&D and manufacturing processes. So this is a lab to fab technology, and which is also highly scalable, because you can imagine having multiple print heads in the machine that can do scalable processing. And more important, this relies on semiconductor standard technology like ALD, which brings a lot of materials, and it was adopted by major players in the market like Intel, TSMC, Micron, Samsung, and so on. How it works, we use additive manufacturing principles. You can upload a CAD file or computer file to the system, connect gases, and then launch the printing, and then you have in the end a ready device for testing or scaling. We already can show the full wafer scale processing out of the lab. And here you could see the 4-inch silicon wafer. And what is unique here, that every element on this sample was made with unique thickness, with unique features. So here you could see we printed in one run lines with starting from 50 nanometers to 20 nanometers, so the square with raster approach, and this we can control extremely well. And also you can imagine that each of the feature out of this 15 can be also different. Here they are all the same, but in general we can make all of them all different. What is the market for us is R&D and industrial market, where we can start again from lab to fab approach. And this is where we bring our initial product offerings of the equipment. We bring a nanofabricator light 1 and 2 as R&D based products, and also nanofabricator 2. It's already pilot system that we have in our lab. And we test this with industrial partners, and we target to develop the machines for scalable manufacturing. We already work with Sony, Merck. We recently sold our first machine to NASA, a number of other US companies. We target for large companies that can integrate this type of technology into their manufacturing. So far, we're funded by public funding. Sony invested in us. We mostly raised our funding through convertible notes, and mostly like 3.5 million in non-diluted public funding. We have a number of partners across Europe, including industrial and R&D. We bring in already advanced services, pilots, moving to joint development, and later on we target for manufacturing of parts and equipment sales, and later on with more applications developed, we can also license. We target initially for MEMS and sensors, advanced materials. We have a very strong pull effect from display, optics, and RF devices, and also pull effect from micro devices for pharma and biomedical applications. The size of the market is huge. Obviously, we cannot cover that. We have also bottom-up approach when we identify potential number of users and then how many of them will buy our equipment or services. So in both cases, we approach to the number of about 300 million SOM. The team, we this year elected Chris Kramer, one of the well-known experts in semiconductor industry from Silicon Valley, as our chairman. We have both a very strong technical and managerial team, including people from aerospace and semiconductor industry. We are the winner of number of awards. Recently, we just last week got a Forum Next Winner Award, and also Tech Tour, and we are part of the Forbes Technology Council. We are raising 13 million to convert more pilots into joint developments, commercialize hardware, expand the team, and build the customer success hub. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxime, for your presentation. Do we have questions, dear experts?
Hey, Maxime, great presentation. Unfortunately, you were breaking up, and it's either me or you were breaking up for everyone. So some of it was missed.
Okay, apologize for
that. Just so I understand, so you're working at wafer level. You're actually processing the wafers.
We targeted for processing of the wafers because most of our technology has the biggest value for microelectronic semiconductor industry, but we can process not only wafers. We had the customers coming with the optical lenses. We did processing on curved surfaces already. We have the customers from biomedical field coming with the thin plastic films, like for biomedical applications. We can do printing on that. We can print on a metallic substrate, steel, aluminum, or any other. That's not an issue at all. But the most difficult market, and at the same time the biggest opportunity, is the semiconductor market. That's why we showcased mostly the wafer samples.
And sorry, just a very quick add-on. Do you have a library of materials, a set of different recipes to achieve different outcomes for your customers? You've already made those, yeah?
Yes, we expanded. We obviously using the same library of materials as atomic layer deposition technology. This technology has like more than 450 different materials. That's why I mentioned this. Obviously, we take one material by another and then retest this on our tool because there are some material testing and parameter tuning is needed. So far, we within this year validated or retested 8 materials because basically we had only one machine and we had also to run other processes. With this investment, we want to expand material testing, having just 3-5 machines separately for materials.
Okay, thanks, Maxime.
You're welcome.
Maxime, okay, quick question for you. Why would a mainstream fabrication plant, say like TSMC, buy your equipment? For example, mainstream CMOS, is it replacement? Is it offering them something new they don't have already?
Oh, they have all the required equipment and processes. What we can offer is direct processing. Also, several big companies coming to us and they want to do post-processing. Let's say they want to deposit sensors on existing structures with already some membranes or features, and they cannot do this because it's a last step in their process, and basically they need to plan this in their process flow, and it's impossible. Very often, substrate or components that they have are very sensitive, and most of the techniques of photolithography, they are a touch base, so you always need to deposit some heavy material, like even liquids. In our case, it's a gas base, it's touchless, so sensitivity very important for them. Also, for TSMC, I didn't mention that is our target because they have extreme resolution requirements. We target for micro scale domain, so 1 micrometer and up. That's why MEMS display optics. This is where our market. I can give you a few details. We actually filed a patent recently for submicron meter features, but I cannot talk about that yet. So we have experimental validation, but that's ongoing.
Can you handle volume?
Not now, because basically we develop all the technology in-house within 3 years without any investors. It was all, and now we targeting for scaling for volume and high volume manufacturing.
Okay, thank you.
We basically, that's a multi-printhead, multi-nozzle concept that we want to expand based on our current technology.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maxim, for your presentation and for your time. Now we proceed with our next company on the list, which is ASP. Thank you. Mirko, whenever you're ready, you may prepare your slide and share your screen.
Thank you very much. 1 second. So it would be cool if you just can confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, we see it perfectly.
Thank you very much. And before I start my presentation, I need a little bit of motivation because, and maybe you too, because thanks for your patience to listen to so many presentations. My name is Mirko Ross. I'm one of the co-founder of Ashwin. And at Ashwin, we take care on trust and security of the Internet of Things software supply chain. First of all, why is this so important? I mean, even like a single incident like SolarWinds Orion has caused over 1 billion damage last year. And we know that this attack patterns and security risk is very successful now and carried out by other actors. So in this year, we have 650% more attacks on the software supply chain. This is more than ever. And there is really a big awareness now rising in the industry that the industry is vulnerable on attacks of software supply chains. And this weak cybersecurity is as well a major obstacle for many to carry out their business. As well, what we see is that the regulation is stepping in, of course, as well, because this is not only a question of business, this is as well a question often for national security. So in the US, we have this year a new act from the White House, and this will force vendors of IoT to implement security in their products and as well to carry out, for example, software bill of materials. We have in the European Union several acts ongoing. And for the automotive industry, where we are now heavily involved, there's a new regulation as well on a global level, which is the UN ECE. And this will force the automotive industry to implement software updates and cybersecurity tools as well within the next. I think they have still 3 years left, but this is a tough thing if you are in this industry. So what is our innovation? We provide a solution where you can create so-called distributed software bills of materials, and we can track and trace the entire flow of software from the deployment towards the operation on a device, and we really know what kind of software is running on a certain device, for example, on a connected car. And we have this in a distributed ledger, which means we don't even need to connect to the car to do analytics or forensic analytics or risk analytics to know what kind of vulnerabilities are running on that car. By that, our customers can go for their own risk mitigation there and for their own risk assessment, and as well they can track and trace the integrity of the software in this complex supply chains. Like, is the software still the software which should be run on a car? Is it still the software which has been approved by our audit and certification process, for example? And this over entire different suppliers. How does it work? I mean, there's in behind, because it's a track and trace case, distributed ledger on a blockchain solution. So All the different events on software will be stored in the ledger in smart contracts, and then the elements inside the software supply chains are accessing the ledger and can then do their approval and integrity checks. And as well, we store all the events around that so that we can do the modeling. In this case, for example, software deployment process, which is running through the CI/CD pipeline of the software development, and then through the type approval, through the over-the-air update distributions, and then at the end, the software has been shipped to a car. What are our advantages? We have a really developer-friendly security as a service platform, which can be easily connected to the processes of our customers. We are compliant to this upcoming strong new regulations in the US, European Union, and as well on the UN level. The ledger gives us the USP that we have a very resilient and strong tracking case, which provides the integrity of the blockchain. And we have a high level of automation ready elements in there by using smart contracts. And we have carried out several patents for this as well. How does it look like? It's really an easy user interface, and you can go through the entire history of a connected asset, not by even connected to it. This is the biggest case. What are our business models? We have two revenue streams. One is based upon software license model, and the other is based upon a use volume model. And this is for this track and trace software solutions and for the part of the monitoring and reporting services we're providing to our customers. And if we have a look alone in the sector of automotive industry, this is really a huge market size. It's a globally a 3.4 billion market within 2030. And this is really only for the elements which are responsible for software supply chain security in the automotive sector. Our solution can be applied on other sectors as well, like industry, smart industry, logistics space. So there are different verticals. We have already done this as well in different verticals, but currently we are focusing on mobility because this is the one who has really a very huge opportunity to the need to implement this stuff rather quick. And by that we're now carrying out really a lot of good pilots with all the major first-tier vendors like Bosch and Continental, but as well now with Volkswagen and Daimler's OEM and system integrators like DXC Technologies. The team in behind, it's me. I'm Milk Ross. I'm a cybersecurity expert with long-term experience, for example, in advising institutions and companies as well for the European Union and ENISA. My co-founder Sven, who's very experienced on ramping up teams, project management and ventures. He's the CEO, and Rohit Bohar, our CTO, which is a blockchain expert. And we have a very good advisory board in behind as well, with people who are supporting us in this challenge to move in this big industries. It's Elmar Degenhardt, who's the former chairman of Continental, with Klaus Entmann, former chairman of Daimler Financial Services, and Christian Senger, who's currently leading as a C-level CEO, the autonomous driving department at Volkswagen. So this is really a super expertise, and some more experts in there, but these are the main excellent people in there. What was our traction? I mean, we have been awarded 2020 as best cybersecurity startup in Germany. Hey, we have raised as well since 2019 when we have started our work more than 1 million on pre-seed funds and public funding. And we're using that to build a product, which is now market ready. And we have gained a lot of traction by working with partners like PwC, KPMG, EI is now coming up as well, and Deloitte. So all the major consultancy firms are supporting us to bring our product into the industry. We have a pre-seed investor fund set, and we have partners who are helping us on accelerating. So we are working now with DXC Technologies, and we are part of the plug-and-play startup Autobahn to move forward to the automotive industry. What is our funding offer? Currently, we are looking for funding. We are looking for seed funding to prepare our company to the next sales and traction stage. So the seed funding is now open for 1.5 million euro. There is already committed 1 million euro and still left €500,000 open for investors. But we are as well, I think, on a very good way to close this as well soon. And we are, however, we are open for any further offers and talks there to get the best settings in there. And how we want to use that money, it's increase, of course, the traction and building the sales team, speed up our brand position and the market reach. And we definitely want to go for a Series A because this market is so huge and the opportunity is so huge. And by that, thank you very much. And thanks for your applause.
Thank you, Mirko. Now we have time just for one question because you exceeded your presentation time,
Okay.
but I would suggest that if we have more questions, just your experts write them in the chat and Mirko will reply them. But if anybody wants to ask it now, please. Okay, thank you then, Mirko, for your presentation. I would like to remind you that once again that you can book one-to-one meetings in our Tech Tour platform until 26th of November. It is a great opportunity for the companies and for the experts to meet each other for a short 15-minute meeting. Now I would like to invite our next presenting company, which is Alba Robot, and Andrea to prepare his slides.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning. Okay, perfect.
So, I'm Andrea, CEO and co-founder of Alba Robot. And I have a question. Do you know why all vehicles are going to be autonomous, all but wheelchair? We don't know the answer, but the wheelchair market is an interesting market. If you think about the airports in 2019, there have been more than 9 billion passengers moving around in the facilities. 10% of them were elderly, so need assistance. Our solution is a micro-mobility platform that helps the passenger transportation in facilities, thanks to the using of autonomous and assisted driving vehicles. We are providing Facility, our cloud fleet manager, and Cydia. Cydia is our fleet of assisted and autonomous vehicle designed specifically for facilities needs. Our proposal is based on a monthly fee subscription to pay the passenger transportation. So we are not selling technologies. Here is a short video. You can see 3 different vehicles we are providing to facilities to satisfy different needs. This is the vehicles for the airport. We have already realized the first 2. This is a conceptual one. You can see the passenger going from the entrance to the gate, thanks to the vocal commands or HMI navigation. Of course, we are managing obstacle avoidance, and we can allow the remote control of the vehicles. Since we are mainly an engineering company, we are able to integrate the facility ICT infrastructure. That is one of the major issues. Here you can see the vehicle for the hospitals and for the museum. And in the last part of the video, you will see the fleet manager. So our cloud tools that allow you to track and monitor your fleet of vehicles. And we are adding more services for the mid and short, for the short and mid term. Of course, we care about customers' feedback, so we are getting validation from customers. We received already the first 2 orders, and we are signing LOI and MOU. The most important order comes from Dussmann. Dussmann is an important facility management company, which is providing passenger transportation in facilities. An important market if we consider just the passenger transportation in airports, hospitals, and museums. We are talking about a market of more than $50 billion per year. Our customers are mainly busy companies providing the passenger transportation in the facilities, while the final user are mainly elderly people, so a growing market. We are targeting just 1% of this big market to become one of the 3 major micro-mobility service providers in the next 5 years. This is a team. At the January of 2020, I was alone. Now we are more or less 20 employees. We are growing. We are just hired other 2 scientists, engineers, and we have important advisors that help us to think about this global market, because we are not just thinking about Europe. This is a kind of global market, and we are targeting Europe, US, and Asia mainly as a market. We are, of course, also using outsourcing in a good, I would say, trade-off. 40% of our engineers come from external company, but working not in core technology. We have a strong motivation. Everything started in 2016 when my granny was forced to live in a wheelchair. At the time, I was responsible to develop new market in my former company. We were trying autonomous driving technology, and I tried to integrate them in a wheelchair. The name of the company is ALBA. ALBA stands for Autonomous Life Body Assistance, but actually was the name of my granny. We have a big experience in safety critical application. We come from safety critical application for transportation industry, so mainly automotive, rail, and aerospace. And we care about IP. We are writing many IP requests. We have big important customers and partners like Amazon mostly, and several incubators that are helping us. And we have big supports from financial institutes. We are looking for 2 million, mainly to consolidate our engineering structure, to foster sales, and to help the company growing, increase the management staff. That's all.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Andrea, for your presentation and for being on time. And now we give the floor to our experts for questions and feedback. Who wants to go first?
Hi, Andrea. Thank you for that. I didn't quite understand. Are you actually designing and manufacturing the mobility vehicles themselves, or are they third party and you're labeling them?
Yeah, we have been forced because at the beginning we wanted to integrate our solution with existing vehicles, but we didn't find any vehicle on the market for the specific needs of the facilities. We have, for instance, power wheelchairs, but they are designed for private users and they are under the biomedical regulation, while we are shared vehicles and we are just an electric personal vehicles, and we don't need, for instance, to be compliant with the biomedical regulation.
Okay, and you mentioned that you're not selling technology. So are you selling this as a service to your customers with everything required?
Exactly. We are an integrated platform as a service, providing our service with monthly fee per vehicle.
Great, thank you.
And of course, some of our foxes said that in Italy we are not really famous for technology. That's a pity because we are, I guess, great engineers. But we are well known as an Italian designer. So the idea of keeping this vehicle as Italian style could be a good, I would say, a good asset for our storytelling. But we are open to integrate third-party vehicles. So we are not just providing technology for our vehicles, also for third-party vehicles. And we are already discussing with huge power wheelchair manufacturers.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Andrea. Nicolas speaking from the factory. Can you elaborate a bit more on the go-to-market strategy, please?
Yeah, we are signing partnership with company like Dussmann, for instance. We are a company in the portfolio of Amazon as a startup for Alexa, because we are able to control the vehicle by voice. So we are relying on this kind of networking to help us to scale, because we don't want to reach the final hospital or the final airports. So just to give you an example, Dussmann Italy is managing 118 hospitals and 8 airports. So if we are able to close contract with these kind of companies, we are able to scale fast. starting from Italy, of course, but we are already discussing with the German, opportunity, and we are looking to open new premises next year in Europe, on US mainly, but also open to discuss with the Emirates, where we stayed 3 weeks ago to present our solution to the GITEX invited by Etisalat.
Okay.
Wonderful. And do we have any more questions, dear experts? Okay, then thank you, Andrea, for your time.
Whereas Paul?
Sorry, I was just going to say, is 2 million going to be enough? If you're building your own equipment and you know a customer requires...
Right. 2 million is enough for 2022 and beginning of 2023 to reach our market, so that one person, that means more or less 100 million euro of revenues. We think that we'll need another round B for 20 million euro.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Andrea.
Welcome.
Now we proceed with our last presenting company of the day, which is eCostier. Just Andrea, could you please stop sharing your screen so Giada can thank you. Giada, whenever you feel ready, you may share your slides.
Good. Good morning to everyone, and thank you to having me here. Good, I'm ready. Okay, I'm Giada Zanatta from eCostier, a startup in the data ownership field. And our technology wants to lay the technical foundation for a new data economy, distributed, decentralized, and aligned with the European principle of the GDPR. We live in a connected world, and our devices, our smart devices, recorded our behavior in real time. And this real-time data streams has a huge economic value, but privacy laws limit any opportunity to monetize it. The reason is of a technical nature. All the current IT data sharing infrastructure are centralized, as they have exclusive control over third-party access to our data, to consumers' data. And this is not aligned with the privacy laws that mandate a specific and informed consent for each intended use of data. To allow companies to reconcile privacy laws and business opportunity is needed a completely shift of paradigm, from the protection of static data sets at the collection point to the protection of real-time data streams since the generation point, any IoT device or information system. And this is what our data ownership platform does. It is an overlay network that decentralizes data access control, putting it back into the hands of the rightful data owner. This technology uses a multicast end-to-end encryption scheme and blockchain smart contract. And it has been granted a US patent in only 2 months without any objection from the examiner. I want to use this video to tell you how it works. As I was saying, today, any data sharing platform has exclusive control over third-party access to consumers' data. With our data ownership platform, data is encrypted at its source. It flows through the data broker encrypted, and it can only be decrypted at its point of usage only with the explicit consent of the data owner, consent that is given and of course can be revoked at any time through a blockchain smart contract. And so this technology technically transforms any data sharing platform into the neutral data intermediary described by the European Data Governance Act. What does it mean for a company that adopts this technology? It means creating a corporate data exchange platform natively GDPR compliant, where any data owner can personally grant or revoke the consent to chosen stakeholders at any time. And in addition, thanks to the possibility to tokenize data, it is possible to create an incentive mechanism for data sharing, where any data owner can personally exchange data with tokens and use these tokens to buy services offered by the same data user on a corporate data stream marketplace, such as the one Alperia and Beeper, our initial client, are creating with our technology. We offer this technology as a software license, and so we enable our client to create their own marketplace, their own ecosystem. In terms of opportunity, the market opportunity is big, is the entire IoT market, 50 billion of connected devices by 2030. However, we are a startup and we are targeting energy and mobility companies in Italy. In terms of competition, we are in a space occupied by two kinds of solutions. On one side, data vaults. So vaults able to control access only over static data sets, not real-time data streams. And on the other, data marketplaces still based on decentralized IT architecture I mentioned at the beginning. Our technology is complementary. And so we enable any existing data sharing and monetization solution to become GDPR compliant by design, integrating our data ownership layer. This is our team. It's still a small team, but with the right mix of competencies from IT, legal, business, user experience, and interaction. And these competencies enable us to raise money from private and public funds to fully develop and validate the product, obtain 2 US patent granted, and the data ownership platform has also been granted a patent in Canada and South Korea, reach initial client, and sign partnership with system integrators such as NTT, HP, and PwC. We are now seeking 2 million to industrialize the technology and further develop the business. Thank you for your attention, and happy to answer to your question and discuss further details. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Giada, for your presentation and for being on time. Now I would like to invite our experts to ask their questions and to give feedback. Who wants to go first? Okay, it looks like you are very clear, Giada. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Dear experts, I would just like to remind you to finish the evaluation form and evaluate ecosteer in our online evaluation form. This was actually the end of our session. And I really hope that our breakout session was interesting and useful for you. All companies will soon receive via email their evaluation results and video recording of their pitch. Now, I would like to kindly ask you to complete our feedback survey that I will share in the chat right now. Just a minute. And also, I would like to remind you about the one-to-one meetings that you can book. Just a minute. Sorry about the confusion. You can see the one-to-one meetings instruction in the chat as well and the feedback survey. You can complete the feedback survey by the end of the day. We will be very grateful for that. And the one-to-one meetings, as I said, will be until 26th of November. I would like to thank you for joining us today and for your active participation. And that was all. Thank you. I wish you a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Tina, all the presenters.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.